Alright, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to more of the Elder Scrolls Online Greymoor. So, let's continue on. Last time we left off around here, we gotta follow the road to Kilkreath Temple. Sure.
Stop! A disaster has befallen Kilkreath Temple. It's good to see you again, but what are you doing?
That dude looks like Snape from Harry Potter.
Have you followed the Draugr plunder to this hold too? I'm sorry, but you're too late. The Coven unleashed their Harrow Storm, and now vampires and Harrow fiends are everywhere. Still, meeting you again is fortuitous. We worked well together, and I could use your help tracking down the Draugr plunder. The Draugr were smuggling remains out of Bankarai and sending them here by way of Sentinel. The cargo arrived in Solitude, but it wasn't clear who the shipments were for until I followed them here. They were destined for the Icereach Coven. The Temple. There may be survivors who could use your help. Meanwhile, if we can learn more about the ritual, we may be able to determine a way to stop them. At the very least, we need to figure out where they plan to strike next. I could use your help to examine the strange pikes erected around the temple. Harrow fiends and vampires roam the area, making it difficult to get close. Hence the need for your assistance. You see, I'm not that confident in my combat prowess.
Dog, you're a vampire.
The Icereach Coven performed a ritual that unleashed a Harrow Storm on the temple. It struck without warning and evaporated as quickly as it began. But in its wake, it left behind Harrow fiends. Innocent priests and pilgrims transformed into monsters. That's what I heard the Icereach Coven call the storm that struck Kilkreath Temple. It's magical in nature, the result of some sort of ritual performed by the witches. I'm still investigating, but I think the Harrow fiends are a byproduct of the storm.
You don't say.
Look, the priest of Meridia. Maybe they can tell us more about what happened at the temple.
Eat.
It's depleted. Just ordinary sticks and rope now. Interesting.
This area definitely looks nice. I've never been a fan of like desert zones, so seeing something like this, Hrothgar was very good as well. Generally really good.
An alchemical residue. That should prove useful.
But yeah, so far today, at least on day one, I'm trying to avoid load screens. So if we take long routes by walking from point A to B, because load screens take like 5 minutes, and that means more editing for me.
Can you feel the lingering energy? That's Daedric, if I'm not mistaken. These depleted witch pikes expended a lot of power to summon the Harrow Storm. Now they're just ordinary sticks, but even in this state, they tell us much about the ritual that flowed through them. I'm sure now that the pikes play a significant role as focal points for the storm ritual. The prepared pikes are depleted as the ritual runs its course, but I sensed lingering energy, including a Daedric taint. And we found an intriguing residue. It's the remains of an alchemical poultice that was spread over the pikes. Smells like rotting fungus, doesn't it? With a little study, I should be able to identify each ingredient in its makeup. Then I can begin to understand the ritual. One other thing I want to check first. I noticed the pilgrims leading a cart away from the temple right before the storm hit. Coven members could have tried to slip away among the innocents. The cart should be along the road south of the temple. Strange.
You just
They're
waved to
alive,
them.
but unresponsive. Check the crates and see if they contain the smuggled items. Did you find anything of interest in the crate? I can't believe anyone knowingly involved would have let themselves be exposed to the storm. Perhaps the pilgrims were tricked into transporting the crate. Or maybe it was slipped into their cart. Yes, of course. Though I fear what we may find there. The temple was clearly at the center of the storm. Regardless, there's still a lot we don't know about the effects of this ritual. Observing the target area could offer new insights.
Please, can anybody help us?
We'll be doing all the side missions later. I kind of want to get through the main story first. But don't worry, we'll do everything. It's actually really cool.
These are temple priests and pilgrims. It seems the storm killed them. I'll need to perform more tests. But from what we've seen, I believe the storm affects mortals in 3 distinct ways. It kills them, transforms them into harrow fiends, or leaves them mindless. I suppose I'd say it harrowed those poor pilgrims. I want to learn more about the ritual, and how it produces the harrow storms. And I need to confirm my theories about the storm's effects. I'll start by examining the residue from the witch pike to identify the components used to power the ritual. My alchemical equipment. It's extremely fragile, so I left it in my pack. I hid it among a copse of trees once I saw all the vampires and harrow fiends. Once I retrieve it, I can find a place to begin my analysis.
Wait, so we're not going in? Okay.
That's close enough, Leech.
Wait! I'm not part of the
Looks like I made it back just in time. This place is crawling with vampires, and that one was about to make a meal out of you. House Ravenwatch. I've heard of them, but he's a long way from Rivenspire. Well, if you're willing to trust a vampire, I suppose I can too. I spotted a coven witch. If we hurry, we might be able to catch her. On the cliff overlooking the temple. Calls herself Sister Embrit. I was going to rush her, but I wanted to make sure you hadn't run afoul of any of these monsters first. No offense, Fen. Come on. If we're lucky, the witch is still up there.
Perhaps I could question the witch before you introduce her to your impressive axe blade?
Why though? Oh my god, dude. It's fine. We're good. Do you have to wait for her to spawn or something? What is that? Oh. Hello. Of course this game would...
Not even harrowed. It seems the ritual needs refinement.
Kill her before she can summon another storm.
Willing sacrifices. How nice.
Sacrifice! I'd rather give you my axe, witch.
I hoped you could take her prisoner. No matter. I found something. This way?
Go with your vampire friend. I'm gonna look around.
Do you see? These are the same as the urns smuggled from Bankarai. They didn't just shatter. They exploded. I can sense traces of magicka clinging to the shards that match the energy used in the storm ritual. These other fragments, though. All this rubble scattered around didn't just come from these urns. The texture and patterns are different. They appear to have used the funerary dust in the urns to summon the harrow storms. But I'm not sure what was inside the larger vessels. Look at the shape of the fragments. They come from a hollow receptacle of some sort. Something at least as tall as you. Perhaps larger. Just another piece of the puzzle. Maybe when I analyze the witch pike residue, an answer will suggest itself. Thank you, but no. I try to avoid large population centers. The temptation. You understand. I'll find someplace nearby, but out of the way where I can set up my equipment and work undisturbed. I'll send word when I have something to report. I met a clever woman who lives in the bog near Morthal. Old Mjolnir's a dying breed among the Nords, a practitioner of the old magic. The locals both admire and fear her. If anyone can help me untangle the Coven's ritual, it's her. Western Skyrim consists of 3 holds: Hafengar, Hjalmarch, and Carthald. Morthal is the capital of Hjalmarch. It's located southeast of Solitude, along the River Hjal. Old Mjolnir lives in the marshlands nearby. The Raven Watch has had to curtail rogue vampire clans, and put down feral blood fiends on occasion, but I've never dealt with anything like this before. People turning into harrow fiends, or becoming mindless harrowed. It's a nightmare. Yes, but more research is required to confirm anything. Still, from what we observed here, it appears the Harrow Storm produced 3 distinct results in those caught within it. It turned them into harrow fiends, or harrowed, or it simply killed them. Mjolnir's experience with the old ways and reach magic make her ideally suited to assist me in this endeavor. She's the closest thing to an expert we're likely to find out here. At least one who doesn't want to feed our eyes to a harpy.
So, what did your vampire friend discover? Reach witches summoning magical storms to create feral vampires? That's horrible, but to what purpose? Well, that's the next puzzle to solve. First, we need to get this information to the Queen. Here. This was for Brondel, but it's yours now. Queen Gerhild needs to hear what we discovered at Kilcreath Temple. Hopefully that will be enough for her to get us an audience with High King Svargrim. The Queen seemed reasonable. She'll believe us. As for Svargrim, who can tell? I haven't met the man, but everything I've heard describes him as prideful, arrogant, and hard-headed. Even with the Queen's help, there's no guarantee. I'd like to knock down the palace door, grab him by the throat, and shake him until he listens. That would probably start a war, though, and Yoren specifically asked me to avoid that. For now, let's bring our evidence to Queen Gerhild. If there's anything else we need to discuss, let's get it out of the way now, before we return to Solitude. Hey, you and Fëanorian came to that conclusion, not me. Still, it makes as much sense as anything. As to why, I have no idea. This connection to vampires, though, that's troubling. We should keep Fen away until we get into Svargrim's good graces. A clever woman? Out here? Nords are extremely distrustful of magic, especially Nords from Western Skyrim. I'm surprised the people of Morthal tolerate her presence. If anyone can help Fen figure out the Coven's ritual, though, it would be her. Our priority remains getting an audience with High King Svargrim. We need to convince him that the Ice Reach Coven is a threat to his kingdom, and get him to help us stop them. Let's return to Solitude and present our findings to the Queen. Clever men and women are Nords with an aptitude for magic, though most use the term to refer to practitioners of the old ways. They're rare. Not the usual adepts found at the Mages Guild. Distrust of magic runs deep in Skyrim, especially out here. Could be that the elves our ancestors fought soured our taste for magic. Or maybe there weren't enough skalds singing about wizards going to Sovngarde. Might be that Nords just prefer their natural talents. Either way, magic isn't popular here.
Yeah. I do want to discover everything, so gotta go get that. How do you get there? Am I about to like yeet myself off this cliff if I have to? I'll do it. We're dead. Luckily, there's like 0 penalty for dying in this game, except for you just repair your weapons and armor, I guess. That's not normal. Museum piece, of course, every DLC has that. I wonder how many people are at the world boss. Let's go do it. Oh, is that like the equivalent of a geyser or... Oh, dude is soloing. Okay. Oh god, the thing's fast. Send help. Ugh. Yo, random, what are you doing? Ow. How much you want to bet some people are going to show up at like 2% and get final kill credit? Dude, I swear, like, if I was a game dev, I'd be like, hey, no. If you want credit, you have to do like at least 10% of damage. Oh my god. This guy is CP881, by the way. I was out of that. Should probably slot heals for world bosses. Go! Get him in the destro. go check out whatever this Harrow Storm is, I guess. Is it the equivalent of a like Dark Anchor or Dolmen Geyser? It's been going on for a while, so I don't know how many people are there. Oh yeah, it is a Delve or Dolmen. Yo, I got this. No one's here. Oh, there's a lot of people here. What the heck? Yo, that's cool.
Weevils among cordwood. Irritating. Nothing more.
What am I attacking? Oh, it's like Garmoth from Black Desert. There's actually more enemies than people.
The exchange is complete. So what if the winds die? This
No.
storm has served its purpose.
That's actually really cool. Having to avoid constant dots. Welcome change. Rip. This is actually Garmoth from Black Desert. Oh my god.
How? How can you survive the ritual? How can you stand against our storms?
What did we just get? Alright, let's go find a way shrine. What's that? Bristleback. Yeah, okay, so we'll find a way shrine, go back to Solitude, and continue on. If I were a way shrine, where would I be? Not in the middle of nowhere, probably, because Lost likes doing that. Well, we found a way shrine. one way or the other.
Seeking a reliable research assistant with little to no fear of death.
Bah! Bloody mages and their bloody tricks.
What do you want?
Help! Assassins in the palace! Help!
That's one of the Queen's attendants. Let's get inside.
Monka.
So much to do, so little time.
Dang, this place is fancy.
This here's beer. What is that terrible smell?
New phone, who dis?
Be strong, Svana.
Mother! No!
Svana, your father, the kingdom. Watch over.
Oh, she dead.
Sire, the assassins might return. You must get to somewhere safe.
Have Yoren's lackeys come to gloat?
We came here to warn you, Your Highness.
And yet my wife lies dead,
If you had listened to us,
like she did. If I determine Yoren had a hand in this, there will be war! Someone take care of my wife!
Father, please.
gods, what a disaster. The Queen's been assassinated and Svargrim still refuses to listen to reason. We need to find a way to set things right. Good question. The guards should have been able to handle a run-of-the-mill assassin. This could be connected to the Ice Reach Coven. In fact, I'd wager my axe that it is. Look around. See if you can find any indication of how the assassin got in and out of the palace so easily. Maybe even turn up something that ties the murderer to the Coven. I'll make sure the princess is all right.
Dang, if you can assassinate someone by just like chucking something through a window.
Svana's taking this pretty hard. I suppose most daughters feel close to their mothers. Not that I'd know, I never knew my mother. Sorry,
That's deep.
don't mind me. Did you find anything that might lead us to the assassin? We've seen these medallions before. On the Reachman near Kilcreath. And I saw them on the witches in Ice Reach. The assassin definitely seems to be in league with the Coven. But can we get Svargrim to believe that and accept the danger he's in? Svargrim has every right to be angry. He watched his wife die right before his eyes. But he's the High King. He doesn't have the right to be stupid. Time to make Svargrim confront some hard truths. Come on, the Sword Thane led the king upstairs.
It's not gonna end up well, but, you know, I'm down.
We need to see the High King.
I should think not. The High King is in mourning. He's not to be disturbed.
The Queen's wasn't the only life lost today. Now get out of our way.
Go right in.
Your Highness, please. Your kingdom is in grave danger.
My queen's blood hasn't yet cooled, and already Yoren's lackeys hound me.
We have proof that the Coven threatening your kingdom is responsible for the Queen's death. Show him, partner.
Where do you even find that? What? Is that an item? don't really understand.
Does Yoren think me so weak that he believes his half-giant can twist my arm and fill my head with lies? I am not so easily duped, outsider. Reach witches. They pose no threat. We've beaten back those wild dogs time and time again, while our brothers to the east bow down to a poetry-writing milk drinker. I will not be lectured on such matters by the likes of you. Tales told around campfires to scare the children. Storms happen here all the time, and none of them spawn monsters. The last spy who spoke of such things, well, he no longer speaks of such things. I am the Wolf of Solitude. I know my enemies. You dishonor my wife's name by letting it pass through your treacherous lips. Away with you! And pray I don't find evidence that ties you to the Queen's murder. That would not go so well for you.
We'll leave you to your grief, Your Highness.
Where do antiquities go? Oh, wait, hold on. Hey, that's cool.
Is it true? Mother told me you were working for her before she...
I'm sorry, Svanna.
My mother. She told me she gave the mighty Lyris Titanborn an important task. Tell me, what were you doing for my mother? Threat? What threat? And do you think this is why someone came into the palace and killed her? And did you tell my father all this? Is he rallying the soldiers? Alerting the other holds? My father sees Yoren's plots everywhere, even in his spicy venison stew. Well, I won't let my mother's death be for nothing. She trusted you, and so will I. My father be damned. Please, find whoever did this and stop them. I saw the assassin. He moved fast. Unbelievably fast. He leaped through the window after stabbing my mother. By that time the guards had gathered, so I guess he decided to flee. Try to follow his trail. Someone outside must have seen something. My father? Listen to me? When horkers fly, maybe. But probably not even then. He gave up on me a long time ago. I'm sorry. I'm no use to you. No use to anyone. I'm not my mother. Never will be. But I swear I'll do whatever I can to help you. You have my word on that. He was fast, that's for certain. Here and gone before the guards could even draw their swords. Other than that, I didn't get a good look. The inside of his hood was nothing but shadows. No. My mother. The last time we spoke, I hurled a mug at her. But I came when she summoned me. Just in time to see her murdered. I need to pull myself together. She asked me to watch over my father. The kingdom. I can't let her down.
Come on, Princess. Let's get you somewhere safe.
Don't call me Princess. Just Svanna. There's nothing noble about me.
I could use a break.
My wife, she is like ice. So cold, so pale. All the warmth sucked out of her. There was a commotion at the palace. Everyone was headed that way. Except one man. No, not a man. He wore an eye patch, but his face was bestial. He dragged her along like a bone between a dog's teeth. Then he tossed her aside, pale as snow. He was fast, so fast, ran toward the Hall of the Dead. He never even looked back at what he had done.
Monka. Alright, I'm gonna stop my recording here, and I'll see you guys in a minute.